Toriko! Toriko chapter 259, y'all. Now, first and foremost, I would like to apologize that this is a late review, but it was Thanksgiving this week, y'all, and y'all know how I be. My whole, schedule is all kinds of pushback. Like, I had videos on the backup for days, but this is Toriko. No, nothing else needs to be said about that. Now, this week's chapter of Toriko. A lot of dialogue. A lot of great dialogue. This just whole chapter was just some greatness. You know what I'm saying? Not to the highest level greatness, but just greatness. What else needs to be said? But we'll go through it step by step, thing by thing. So first and foremost, we get back to the scene, a continuation of the scene when Coco arrives from last week's chapter. And, Sonny and Zebra is like, yo, where you been, Holmes? Bro, you called us here to this meeting. What you want? And Coco's like, I gotta talk to y'all about something, something I found, and all this. And, he begins very interesting points, and a lot of foreshadowing for the most part, but as well as some present day stuff. He presents them with, he hints back to his, battle with, Grin Patch, because, we were all wondering. Thank you, Mitsutoshi, for not leaving us hanging, and no plot holes and nothing like that. And pretty much Sonny asks, yo, bro, what happened to your hair? Because it's just lacking in color or something. I don't know how they're gonna show that in anime or something. I don't watch the anime. Just saying, what's white or blonde? Who knows? Probably white. And Cole's like some people had already theorized and speculated that he had used too much poison in his battle with Grin Patch, which makes perfect logical sense to me. I mean, this is Grin Patch we're talking about. And he's like, yeah, Grin Patch's anatomy, that thing has so many layers of filtration, it's ridiculous. My poison kept circulating and stuff. And he said, I had to unleash my devil, my Gorhime cells did kind of like, Toriko, it was a mix between Toriko's and Sonny's gourmet cells, okay? Because it came out and it administered devil poison. It kind of spit in the Grin Patch's mouth. That thing was weird. But I do gotta say, out of all of them, probably the most death-looking out of all the four Heavenly Kings, and it's very ironic compared to how, you could say fair, handsome-looking Coco is. Yeah. That his gourmet, monster gourmet cells are straight death looking, like some voodoo, doll on steroid kind of thing. Deep, ain't nothing more to mess with. Not scary in a sense of Sonny's kind of thing with that maniacal looking thing, but dog, it looks like straight death. Not even playing. And the things it was saying, straight death. But Coco also said, yo, I felt like I was gonna die. And Sonny's like, yeah, I can relate. You too. So that was a nice exchange and all that. But friggin' Zebra, the impatient one, shown very impulsive. Get to the point. Get to the damn point, bro. And so Coco's like, yeah, I brought this rock here, man. And Sonny's like, a rock? Really? And he's like, yeah, there was something special about this. And he talked about how Grin Patch dug down deep into the Earth's core, and Coco stumbled upon this thing, and it was strange, very strange. But then, he said, go ahead, taste it, touch it yourself. And Sonny's like, whoa, I feel like, calories are leaving me, like it's a life-draining thing. And I'm loving the sci-fi nature that Mitsutoshi's adding in this, okay? It was very sci-fi-esque. And so he's like, yeah, that's my thought too. And guess what? Here's my, he starts theorizing. He's like, the only, this, but, Zebra says something real. I love how Toriko's characters are very powerful and everything. They're also highly intelligent. Zebra's like, this looks like a common thing that you'll see everywhere. And Coco's like, you're right. The only place that it's not is in the center of the human world. And he starts theorizing about, hypothesizing, however you want to say it, about how the center of the human world was likely the original Earth, but that this thing came, billions of years old, kind of going into the evolution mindset. Not getting into that one, but okay, I like the scientific approach to it. 100 billions of years old, or whatever it was, or billions of years old, and most of this, which encompasses most of the Earth, this new mantle, this life-draining thing, this like growing kind of organism, if you would have it. This rock sample of the bedrock that he brought back, it's only some 100 millions of years old, and it's foreign, so it crashed into the Earth, and it began to grow, and it grew into most of the world in which we see, especially the gourmet world, and you will see like the Cambrian age, a huge explosion of new species and all that. And I did catch in that what Mr. Toshi showed, what's it called? The nitro. I did see a nitro open there. Just saying. I made sure. I checked that like 3 times. I did see a nitro open there. So walking around amongst them. So this is to the point where others were saying, stuff came from space and stuff. Here we go. And so it uncovered, most of the world, this organism stuff. And, going back to it, and he's saying, he's doing through this, and the picture of the region, and I love the surprise that Zebra and Sonny had. Then he begins talking about a food before that he talks about how this bedrock, which is not so much invasive but foreign to the natural Earth, and then it also explains the size of the Toriko world, because many of us, the Toriko world is like the size of Jupiter, and this was seemingly the real Earth. But apparently, this isn't retcon. This is okay. Mr. Toshi did the proper retcon here, the proper retcon. I'm going to do a video soon that deals with retcon, the good and ugly, because there's no good, there's no bad, and there's either good and ugly. Okay, and this is the good kind of retconning, where Mitsutoshi, because the explanation we were given about the jellyfish or whatever, although it seemed cool, which in case you found it, it was seeming very problematic, especially how Midora was talking about born with it and all that jazz. Here, the evolutionary, traits and everything, here is where it gets in. Apparently, according to Coco's theory, gourmet cells originated from this, foreign rock, bedrock that spread around the world. And so gourmet cells, like others have been theorizing, came from elsewhere in space. Did the nitro have something to do with it? Very likely. We shall see. So apparently, gourmet cells come from this, and not exactly from the jelly, because the story that they heard is because Acacia found the jelly. But how do we know he found it just there? And then he begins talking about deep sea stuff, talking about a food utopia. Okay. And I was wondering about that because of the way they presented Acacia's findings and everything. And so this opens up a very interesting avenue. First we're talking about space, now we're talking about deep space. I mean deep sea. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, deep sea, deep ocean diving. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Great job, Mitsutoshi. Excellent. This is what I'm talking about, greatness. Okay. So there's potential of them going into the sea. This is alright, space and deep sea. I'm loving this. I'm personally loving this. Not just as a Toriko fan, but because I love sci-fi as well. Science fiction literature. I love it. One of my favorite genres of literature. Anyways, moving on. So they're talking about that, and Zebra is talking about like, yo, I heard those dudes named Nero talking about this utopia. And Sonny mentioned it, those were the main, pretty much these were the main battles we were facing and everything, and Zebra talking about how cocky they were and everything. So, are they going now into space? I still think they're going into space. Maybe they're misguided. I don't know. Maybe they're going to sea. Who knows? Who knows from here? So this is why you gotta love Toriko. If you're not reading this, read Toriko, because of how open-ended this world is, this universe. Who knows where the next direction will lead, right? And back to more current, that was enough of the foreshadowing good stuff that Mr. Toshi was giving us. Back to the urgent stuff. Zebra talks about the looting and stuff that's going on. And, it brings up a point that reminded me how people are afraid of chaos. Chaos is created. Chaos just doesn't happen, okay? These people are starving, I think Sonny brought up the point about, I hear about all the cooks, the high level cooks, distributing food, but the way they put in there was like to the places where they didn't get distributed, there was a loot and robbery and all that. And Coco's like, yeah, what we need to do, and he's like, here's the reason I brought y'all to this meeting, is because we need to go to the first biotype and complete the President Ichirayu's full course. And they were like, why do we need the old man's full course and everything? He's like, there's an ingredient. Now, it's a huge place, and I would, I need y'all abilities, and I would get Toriko, but apparently Toriko's still depressed. Apparently they all know about it, and apparently they all know about Coco. So everybody's on, on the same page. But, deal with Toriko in a minute. Anyways, so Coco's like, yeah, we need that because that, and Zebra asked either Zebra or Sonny asked a good question. You're like, I thought you and Toriko went to each of the biotypes and gathered everything. He's like, yeah, everything but the first biotype, because in the first biotype there's an ingredient, that's needed to complete the full course. And when the full course is completed, they will create something that is freaking an infinite supply of food. An ingredient with an infinite supply of food. Now, apparently back in the Gourmet Casino, y'all remember that arc, hopefully. See, this is why you should read the arcs, and this is why all these arcs are important. Apparently, Toriko, it was something that didn't taste the greatest, but it's an infinite supply of food. Toriko learned that in the Gourmet Casino. And so, there's that. They need to go do that. So this is great. This is a great direction for now. And Sonny mentions Zebra, and he's like, I'm not really worried about Toriko. And Sonny's like, neither am I. But someone who really is my little sister. Obviously talking about Rin, and we see Rin. We see that's why Toriko seems, and we see Toriko spaced out once again. Now we see Rin behind the tree and everything. And I'm glad to see her in something else besides that get up. She's in jacket and everything, and Toriko is just staring off. Obviously, he's depressed over Komatsu. That's obvious. But and I will get to one thing that Sonny dealt with. But who shows up? Knocking Master Jiro, or as Rin calls him, Knocking Geezer Jiro. So Jiro has a bag, and I wonder if he's going to tell Toriko the same things Coco did or something else. Who knows? But and to the last part, even though that's the end of the chapter, going back, there's a key point that Coco did, because Zebra, in kind of an intimidating nature, and Zebra, and they do all look different at this point. They all do look different, including Zebra. Zebra's like got longer hair or something, or less scars. I don't know. They all do look a bit different. Sonic looks relatively the same, but they all do look different. Zebra asks Coco, why in the world? Why the hell did you send freaking Komatsu when you knew Toriko was? Well, he asked him, or Sonny asked him, I forget. Did you know? You had fortune telling, and there was fortune telling among. They talked about that amongst the mantle or whatever. Can tell, but Coco can't read the electromagnetic waves. But with the cases, Toriko is like, yo, Coco, you could tell Toriko was gonna lose. Why would you send Komatsu with him? It's because Coco's like, that was the best option at the time. Okay? That if they were together. And he's like, Zebra's questioning, and Coco's like, they're both alive. Okay? And they will be fine. So, they will be fine after a while. So, what's about to happen now that time is short? Is Jiro gonna go with Toriko into the gourmet world? Like, what's about to happen? I'm not sure. So Mr. Toshi leaves us hanging in a good way. Overall, I said this was greatness. This isn't the greatest thing ever, but this is just simply put greatness. It is an 8 out of 10. Simply a great chapter of Toriko. It did a lot for us. Gave us a lot to look forward to. Gave us a lot to look forward, as far as the future. of the series, gives us stuff to look forward to, more mysteries, gives us stuff to look forward to currently, what's gonna happen, great stuff, leaves us with a bit of a cliffhanger. I mean, anytime one of those three, whether it been Ichirayu, Midori, or Jiro, okay, when they enter the picture, you already know stuff is getting real. Especially Jiro now. Stuff just got real. And so overall, all that, like I said, it's a great chapter of Toriko. And anything else I need to say or want to say in this video? I'm curious. I'm really curious to see how long this. What I meant to say is how long this series is gonna go. Like I mentioned, this could go some One Piece level kind of stuff. I really do believe it. Like the way Mitsusoshi, others made this disprove of the direction. I really love it because I'm like, the way it was going, I'm like, yo, you can't just have these two organizations just pitted at each other. It's kind of boring and cliche. But now it's going all over the place with Neo, the introduction. You got all these dudes. I'm loving this. I'm loving the direction of Toriko. I'm just hoping Mitsutoshi keeps it up and we get a hell of a lot longer, many more years of this greatness. Alright, y'all. The Unsuspected Learner, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts on the chapter. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace till next time.